Hey, welcome to the video. Um, yeah, basically, I'm going to explain to you about this trip I did to Sharm El Sheikh in Egypt. So, first of all, why Sharm El Sheikh, Egypt, out of everywhere in the world? So, for me, there's a ton of reasons, basically. It's kind of insane the amount of cool things you could do there. So you've got one of the best, I think the second or third best diving spots in the world in Sharm El Sheikh. And it's very, very cheap. So you've got a ton of activities, a ton of water stuff to do. You've got the desert. You've got a ton of really cool, interesting things to go and see and do. You could go dune racing. You could go camel riding. You could go horseback riding. There's like a ton of different things to do, and it's very, very cheap. It's not expensive, so you get really, really amazing quality of life for very little money. It's also quite, if you can book your flights properly, you could get in for quite cheap as well. So people are very happy, very friendly. The tourists are also nice, so it's quite a very interesting combination. And obviously, the weather is amazing. So unless you go in the summer, it's really hot. So I would say go in the winter, and autumn, winter, spring, you'd be fine. It's actually pretty good weather over there. So flights. When you're booking your flight, you need to you're better off booking single one-way flights rather than a return flight. If you book a return, you probably end up spending 5, 6, 700 pounds, or the equivalent USD. Or if you book single flights and you can keep your luggage quite low, then you could get away with about $100, like literally $100 a ticket. So $200 up and down from Europe. From the US, it's probably going to be a bit more, but yeah, if you are traveling from Europe anywhere, you'd be getting a really good deal there. So yeah, definitely book flights, and check for all different carriers. Like I flew EasyJet initially. And the other cool thing is, if you're traveling during holidays, you might be able to get yourself a really nice business class or first class for very cheap as well. That's the other cool thing. Because not many people flies to Sharm El Sheikh on business class. It's not really the place for business. It's more the place to go chill out, relax, and enjoy and have a good time there. You know. Visa. They have port visa for a lot of countries in Europe and the US. So unlike rest of Egypt, where you have to get an e-visa in advance, you could get a port visa quite easily. It's like $25. So I would say don't bother about the e-visa. Definitely check out their embassy website or the foreign ministry website before you go. But if your country is eligible for getting a port visa, you are better off doing that. But if it's not, and if it's not even eligible for e-visa, then you might want to book your visa in advance, and it can take a while. I know people who has been waiting for over 2 months for a visa, and nothing's happened. Whereas I just walked in and got a port visa quite easily. Anyway, so that's for the visas. Be very mindful where your passport is from, and then depending on that, your visa will be easy or difficult. COVID, it's quite changing nowadays. There's Omicron coming up, and the laws are always changing everywhere. But as of December of 2021, Egypt is pretty flexible with COVID. So as long as you have a PCR test or a vaccine certificate, an approved vaccine certificate, so like AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and so on, you would be okay getting into the country. So you'd have no problems. Booking your stay, hotels, you are better off. Well, depends what you want to do. So if you are going to go on your own, you're going to be out all day. You're probably better off getting a hotel, because what are you going to do in the hotel? You don't need like a top quality hotel. You just need an okay hotel where it's safe. It has all the things you need, and yeah, then stay there. You'll be out and about. So I would say don't go full board. Go for breakfast only. You'd save a bit of money, and then you can eat out. There's a ton of places to eat out in, really cheap, really nice food. You can do home deliveries as well. That's quite nice. So definitely, I would say check out these hotels. Hotel transfers. Yeah, airport transfers, definitely book it in advance. Don't buy it once you're there. You'll end up spending way more money if you book it from when you're there. So I booked mine in advance, and then on the way back, I also booked it from the hotel. So the hotel will charge you less than if you went to the taxi yard and got it from there. So yeah, that's quite important as well. Food, as I told you, you're better off eating out. The full board in the hotel is okay, but you're kind of limited to whatever they've given you. So you don't really need that. If you go in a group, another thing you could do is you could probably rent a villa or a flat, and it would probably be a bit cheaper than a hotel, and you'd get full flexibility there. Because remember, food you can just order and get nice home deliveries. So currency, you need to either get Egyptian pound, which is as of today about 15.5 US dollars per pound, or 15.5 Egyptian pounds per dollar, not the other way around. So either take US dollars or Egyptian pound. Don't take euros, don't take pounds, don't take anything else. Only dollars. Dollars is accepted all of Egypt, no problems. Egyptian pound obviously is also accepted, but if you have either of those, you wouldn't be losing a lot on transaction fees and commission and all that. Euros, they're treated same as US dollars, so yeah, you end up spending a lot more with euros. When you're packing your suitcase, you need to, I would say, pack it quite light. Don't take a heavy, big suitcase with you if you can, because it's a nightmare going through with a big suitcase. Your airlines will probably charge you extra for your suitcase, and B, it's difficult to carry it around everywhere, and C, you might get into trouble with customs. So I would say get your swimming gear with you. Even that you could probably buy locally, but definitely get yourself one of these. Either buy it once when you get there or afterwards. It's a goggle. Is very useful because you could use it in all the water activities. You could use it in the desert as well for the sand. There's a lot of sand in the desert. It's a desert end of the day. So yeah, goggles is like the best thing you could take yourself with. Other thing you should get is probably a dongle, an internet Wi-Fi dongle that's open for any network. So that way, when you get there, for internet, you just get a SIM card, and then it'd be fine. You could get like 20 gigs worth of internet for about $10-15. It's really cheap. And then all through Egypt, all through Sharm El Sheikh, you've got internet, nice high-speed 4G internet. Most of the hotel internets are actually quite slow, so don't count on the hotel internets. If you get a flat or a villa, what you can do is you can ask the organizers to put high-speed broadband internet in there for you. It takes about a couple of days, but if you request it, they will probably do it for you and obviously charge you for it, but is still pretty good. So I would say if you're like a digital nomad, you definitely need internet, then you're better off with that. If you're not, then the hotel internet is probably more than enough. If you're just checking your email and stuff, you'll be okay. You don't even need to buy any internet. There's shops everywhere to buy internet from. So yeah, so back to your suitcase, I would say you'd want to pack light, so maybe take only 1 or 2 sets of clothes with you. Basic stuff. So if you can get it to fit all in your backpack, that's like the best option you could do. So then you're traveling light, you just got your backpack with you. Maybe take your laptop, take some clothes, take your phone gear, so maybe like a tripod or something, your phone, some spare batteries, some chargers, your toiletries, and that's it. Keep it light, don't take too much stuff with you. Here's what happened with me. I went there in the airport with a ton of stuff, ton of equipment, some extra phones as cameras I was going to use, and yeah, I got stopped by customs, and they stopped me and they asked, okay, you need to pay us up now. It's the rule, and you have to pay us up. So there I was. I had the pickup, the airport transfer waiting for me outside, and they did say they're only going to wait 45 minutes, and customs check everything. Literally, they check everything for everyone in Egypt, and they will be very fussy. So whatever you bring, you have to be very, very careful what you take with you. Especially electronic items, don't take too much. If you take, let's say, more than one phone, they will ask you a ton of questions for it. If you take 3, you'll definitely get in trouble. 2 phones, maybe you might be okay. So yeah, I would say there's a lot of issues with that. So these are like the 10 different things you could do for preparation. And yeah, in the next episode, I'm going to tell you what I did to get out of the issues with the customs in the airport. And yeah, we'll go into a bit of details on how the attractions went and what I did over there. I'll see you soon.